Waiting is one of the hardest things for the human soul to endure, especially when you prayed, believed, stayed faithful, tried to do the right thing, and still, nothing changes. The door stays closed. The answer feels delayed. The season stretches longer than expected. And honestly, after enough waiting, people start asking dangerous questions. Did God forget me? Am I being punished? Why does everyone else seem to move forward while I stay stuck? That pain is real because waiting can feel invisible. You watch other people receive what you prayed for. Opportunities, relationships, breakthroughs, direction. Meanwhile, your life feels paused. And if you're not careful, delay slowly turns into discouragement. But Lamentations 3:25 says something powerful. The Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the soul who seeks him. Wait for him, not rush ahead of him. Not force the outcome. Wait, that changes everything. Because biblically, waiting is not meaningless inactivity. Waiting is often preparation. And honestly, many people hate waiting seasons because they misunderstand what God is doing inside them during the delay. Stay with me, because today I'm going to show you why you sometimes have to wait so long. And the final reason explains why some delays are actually protecting you from receiving things before your soul is ready to carry them. Number 1, waiting reveals what you truly trust. This is where the process begins. When life moves quickly, faith feels easier, but waiting exposes the heart. Suddenly, you discover what you were really depending on emotionally. Control, certainty, timelines, immediate results, and honestly, this is why waiting feels so uncomfortable, because it removes the illusion that you control everything. Psalm 27:14 says, "Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord." Notice the language, be strong, because waiting requires strength, not physical strength, spiritual strength. The strength to trust God when answers feel delayed. The strength to remain faithful when emotions fluctuate. The strength to believe even when circumstances remain unclear. And here's what most people miss. Waiting is often where idols become visible. If you cannot experience peace without immediate answers, then certainty may have become your source of security instead of God. That's difficult truth, because many people say they trust God until He allows delay. Then frustration exposes what they were actually relying on internally. And honestly, some waiting seasons exist because God is teaching you dependence before destination. But the process goes even deeper. Number 2, God often develops your character before releasing the blessing. This part frustrates many people because humans naturally focus on outcomes, the relationship, the opportunity, the breakthrough, the success. But God focuses on the person receiving it. Character matters to Him deeply. Why? Because blessings without maturity can destroy people. Influence without humility creates pride. Success without wisdom creates collapse. Power without discipline creates chaos. That's why preparation often takes longer than expected. Joseph received the dream early, but the palace came later. First came betrayal, then slavery, then prison. Imagine how confusing that must have felt. The promise was real, yet the process looked opposite of the promise. But here's what most people never realize. Prison developed the character leadership required. Without the waiting, Joseph's soul would not have been prepared for the responsibility ahead. James 1:4 says, "Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete." Mature and complete. That means waiting is often producing something invisible before blessing becomes visible. And honestly, many people are asking God for things their current character could not sustain safely yet. That's why delay is not always denial. Sometimes delay is development. But waiting seasons also reveal another painful truth. Number 3, waiting separates real faith from emotional convenience. This is where many people struggle spiritually, because it's easy to trust God when everything happens quickly. But what about when prayers remain unanswered for months? Years. What about when heaven feels silent? That's where faith becomes real. Hebrews 11 is filled with people who waited. Abraham waited for the promise. Noah waited for rain. David waited for the throne. And honestly, their waiting seasons were not comfortable. Faith often looks inspiring in hindsight, but painful while you're living through it. And here's what most people miss. Waiting purifies motives. At first, people often seek God mainly for outcomes. But long waiting seasons deepen relationship itself. Prayer changes, dependence deepens, intimacy with God grows stronger. Because eventually you stop seeking only the gift and start seeking God Himself more deeply. That's transformation. And honestly, some people would walk away from God entirely if every prayer were answered instantly. Why? Because quick answers can create shallow faith. But deep trust develops through endurance. That's why waiting often matures the soul. But now we reach something even more personal. Number 4. God sometimes delays things because timing matters more than people realize. This changes everything because humans usually focus only on desire. I want it now. But God sees timing, context, consequences, and readiness all at once. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." In its time, not merely when you want it, when the timing aligns properly. And honestly, many painful situations in life happen because something arrived before someone was emotionally or spiritually ready. Relationships started too early. Success arrived before humility developed. Opportunities appeared before wisdom matured, and what looked like blessing became burden. But God sees further than you do. That's important, because some delays are not punishment, they are protection. Imagine giving enormous responsibility to someone emotionally unstable. The blessing itself could destroy them. That's why God often works slowly. He prepares circumstances, people, timing, and character together. And honestly, many things you desperately wanted earlier in life would have damaged you if received prematurely. You just couldn't see it at the time. But waiting also creates another powerful transformation. Number 5. Waiting teaches you to live by faith, not constant evidence. This is difficult, because humans crave proof. Visible progress, visible signs, visible movement. But waiting often removes visible certainty. And now you must decide, will you trust God without constant evidence? 2 Corinthians 5:7 says, "For we live by faith, not by sight." Not by sight. That means faith often exists in places where visible proof feels limited. And honestly, this is where many people become emotionally exhausted, because they keep searching for reassurance every day. A sign, a confirmation, a guarantee. But God sometimes allows uncertainty because it stretches trust. Think about Peter walking on water. The moment he focused entirely on visible circumstances, fear overwhelmed him. And honestly, many people lose peace in waiting seasons because they become obsessed with visible evidence instead of spiritual trust. But here's what most people miss. Faith grows strongest when certainty becomes limited. That's why waiting develops spiritual depth, because now your trust is no longer dependent entirely on immediate outcomes. And finally, the deepest reason you sometimes wait so long. Number 6. The waiting season may be preparing you for a future bigger than you currently understand. This changes the entire perspective, because many people think they are only waiting for one thing: a job, a relationship, an opportunity. But God often sees a much larger picture. David was not merely waiting to become king. He was becoming the kind of man capable of leading through wisdom and dependence on God. Moses was not merely delayed in the wilderness. He was being transformed from impulsive to humble. And honestly, some of your waiting seasons are connected to assignments larger than you realize. Romans 8:28 says, "In all things God works for the good of those who love him." All things, even delays, even silence, even frustrating seasons that seem pointless right now, because God wastes nothing. And some of you are becoming stronger, wiser, more compassionate, more disciplined, more spiritually grounded through waiting. Not because delay feels good, because preparation matters. One day, you may look back and realize the waiting season protected you, deepened you, and prepared you more than immediate answers ever could have. That's powerful. So let's go back to Lamentations 3:25. The Lord is good to those who wait for him. Good to those who wait, not because waiting feels easy, because God remains faithful even during delay. And hear this carefully. Waiting is not proof God forgot you. Silence is not proof he abandoned you. Delay is not proof your life lacks purpose. Sometimes God works most deeply in hidden seasons. Roots grow underground before trees appear visibly, and hidden growth still matters. That's difficult for modern culture to accept, because people celebrate speed, fast success, fast answers, fast results. But God often develops people slowly, deeply, carefully, intentionally. And honestly, many of the strongest people spiritually became strong because they survived long waiting seasons without giving up completely. That endurance changed them. So if you feel tired of waiting right now, don't rush ahead of God out of frustration. Some doors delayed today may save you from pain tomorrow. Some unanswered prayers are protection. Some silent seasons are preparation. Some delays are building a stronger version of you than immediate comfort ever could. And maybe the reason you have to wait so long is because what God is preparing for you requires a deeper version of who you are becoming now. Trust that process, even when it feels slow, because God sees the full picture you cannot yet see. If this message spoke to you, if you're learning to trust God in the waiting season, type waiting in the comments. Not because the process feels easy, but because you believe God is still working even in the delay. And remember this, sometimes the longest waiting seasons produce the deepest transformation.